There will be no thick Latinos deported tonight, my friends, because I love thick Latinos with two C's, war chest, two C's. Speaking of which, speaking of C's, maybe we'll see triple C here tonight. Crimson Cobra Commander. Um, give him a shout out, man. Love what he's doing and hopefully getting his YouTube channel shaking and moving, man. Dude's been making a million videos. Um, good fella. Anyway, so here we are, Saturday night, a little different. I did postpone last night's stream. Had some stuff going on, and it's a little difficult as I'm watching Alabama score another touchdown. Roll Tide. It is now 34-6. Alabama over LSU. Roll Tide. Jalen Milrose, 72-yard rushing touchdown. It's a beautiful thing to behold. Daredevil Dave is in the house. War Chest Full of Toys is in the house. 3-star Draw is in the house. It is a Saturday. It's a little different. And for maybe some people who might normally be here on a Friday, maybe tonight they're doing stuff. Don't know how many people are going to tune in, and that's all good. Had a lot of fun last night on Punk's Pit. Probably talked too much, as I've been known to do, and maybe didn't talk enough, as I heard Matthew say when I got off the stream. Always listening, my friends, always listening. Burner Phone 615, had a great conversation with him just a few minutes ago. Very good conversation. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh. As some of you know, I bartend, and it can be a eventful. I wouldn't call it a career, but it can be an eventful job, and it was eventful today. Almost had a couple guys going at it on the sidewalk out front. Luckily, it didn't come to that. And I used my ambassador skills, as Burner Phone 615 texted me earlier and said that Trump should make me Secretary of State with my skills. I probably did miss my calling, to be quite honest with everybody. And how do I explain this? Like, I'm super ADHD. And so I'm the type of person that starts a lot of stuff and doesn't finish a lot of stuff. And had I had the mind of being able to see things through, and War Chest, you probably, just from talking to me, probably could notice that, right? I've talked to you about various businesses and things that you've done. I know a lot of people and talk to a lot of people. Man, if I had the mind to be able to focus and see things through to the end, the possibilities are limitless. However, at the same time, at 49 years old, it's like I also see my limits in a way, as weird as it is to say. And so yeah, today was an interesting day. Tried to be a diplomat as best I can, and that's one of my better skills. I'm not going to lie. One of my better skills, being a diplomat, trying to appease people, make people happy, and hopefully that's what I'll do here tonight. For those of y'all tuning in, and anybody that in the chat and hanging out, I appreciate it. Always appreciate it. It's a much more fun time to hang out and have people, watching you and interacting and stuff like that, for sure. So I do have a few things to go over tonight, and we'll get into it. No big rush here. My son, although you can't see him, is playing the MetaQuest 3 behind me, which is an upgrade, so to speak. And he's been on it for last night and today. And so he's behind me, probably got his headphones plugged in, can't hear a single thing I'm saying. Get better grades, son. Nah, he's good. Good kid. What's up, chat? Obviously, kind of rolling through it already. Real quick, let's see here. Oh, yes. No time to chat. You are the only upgrade that I do need, but you have an upgrade at home, lady. Or man. I don't know. I don't want to give you away. Um, and shame on me for not realizing who No Time to Chat was the last time No Time to Chat came into the actual chat. That is a inside baseball reference to my job as well as burner phone 615, and I appreciate both of them equally. I do. I really do love them. And so No Time, obviously. Love you. You know that. Um, and so we're gonna get into some stuff tonight, but real quick, let's see here. 3-star draw says, "Ooh, when did you get the 3?" Last night. I wouldn't call it an early Christmas present for those of you that are VR sophisticated. MetaQuest, which is the Facebook now, um, has upgraded their VR. They have a MetaQuest Pro. They have a 3, a 3S, which is kind of like a uh, downgraded next level, so to speak. And so the MetaQuest 3, it has like 4K lenses and everything, and so it's a super upgrade, really awesome. And he's been on it, and I knew he would be. And so it was mainly for him. It was just, I knew he would really appreciate that. And he's done well in school, got through band season and all that kind of stuff. So, wanted him to be able to have some fun and come over here. So, if any of you ever think about trying VR and you don't have motion sickness, I recommend it. It's really fun, really freaking awesome. And I have all the time in the world to mess around with it, but when he comes over, he's on it like all the time. So, anyway, so enough of that. But let's see, War Chest, real quick. You should see what I have going on now. Worst thing in the world is letting me sit around the house for a few weeks. My brain runs overtime. Yes, talking to you, I can only imagine that being the case, actually, because it seems like you have your hands in everything, War Chest, and I mean everything. Um, yeah, and you definitely know about all of them. That's for sure. Much more than I can even comprehend sometimes. Yeah, you know what? It could be, right? Like, I'm sure for that. I'll be 100% honest with all of you. I have never actually done that with VR. Too much information, whatever, but I really actually haven't. Now, I know there's plenty of people that probably do. Um, all right. We're not going to get too far into that. Real quick, rest in peace, Tony Todd, Candyman actor. Let's go ahead and get this up here, right? And 3-star, it is a thing. Trust me, it is a thing. It's kind of hard to take the headset off, though, afterwards. So anyway, Tony Todd, Candyman, and Final Destination actor dies at 69. And what an age to die at if you're going to die at one, right? Holy moly. I would say it doesn't get any better than that, but living to 100 probably is better than that. So just to give you a little quick story. I went to see the original Candyman movie in movie theaters, Halloween, the year it came out. I want to say 1992, fall of 92. It was Halloween. I went with my friend Ricky Jones and his girlfriend Heather, and I took my girlfriend Jenny, and we went to see Candyman in the movie theater. And the power went out at the movie theater in the middle of Candyman. And I remember having to use a payphone to call my mother because I had a curfew. And I remember having to call my mom and tell her that the power went out on Halloween night at the movie theater, and that I was gonna wait. We were gonna wait a while and see if the power came on, and then I would come home. And of course, how unbelievably ridiculous does that sound on Halloween night that you would call your parents and say, "Yeah, mom, not gonna be home at 11. The the power went out in the movie theater." Right. On Halloween night of all nights. But it is a true story. And if Ricky Jones was in this chat, he would back me up with that. And sometimes he is. Sometimes he is. But anyway, yeah, but Tony Todd, man, look, best known obviously for Candyman. As Warchest says, love the OG Candyman. It was badass my senior year. Me too. That was my senior year as well. I don't know what that movie did at the theaters. I want to say as well as it probably did. It also, I wouldn't call it a cult classic. Maybe you guys would say that, maybe not. I wouldn't call it a cult classic per se, but almost kind of in a way, right? I think a lot of times it gets overlooked, but there are scenes in that movie that are, striking. And and it also was an early movie really to deal with you know, low income, in the hood, kind of urban legend-ish kind of thing. Showing the disparities in income levels and low income people and stuff like that. That is part of the movie. It is a part of it. And so I'm not saying it was the first by any means, but as far as a horror flick, it probably was, or an early one anyway. But yeah, I don't remember the movie Sleepwalk. Maybe some of y'all can tell me. It says Tony Todd made his film debut in 1986 as Sleepwalk, and 200 television and movie credits. Jesus, now you want to talk about a consistent working actor. Now I don't know about the last several years, but also looking through some of these credits, for instance, 1995 Candyman. God, I hate when this does this. I'd like to just highlight this, but it's gonna not do that. All right, so Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, and the 2021 remake, which was good that they brought him back for that. I think that's only appropriate. Final Destination, which I mean, come on, man, like that's a great one. Final Destination 2 and 5, and then other credits though. And I mean, some of these movies, like, listen to some of these movies. 1990s Night of the Living Dead, The Rock, The Crow, Hatchet, 2007, The Man from Earth, not familiar with, or Hatchet 2, okay. The Flash, 2015's Frankenstein, Hellfest, 2018's Requiem, 2022's Hellblazers, and 2024's The Bunker. He was on Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which I definitely, remember both of those, and also in Star Trek Voyager. So a consistent working actor for sure. And yes, The Crow, underrated, definitely. At the same time, it well known obviously for Brandon Lee, right? But definitely underrated. They tried to remake it this year. It was horrible. Horrible remake. And panned widely by critics. I did not waste my money to go see it. Now, most of the time, if there's a movie I want to talk about, especially on a Tuesday night with Matthew, I will spend the money to go see it. If it's on a Tuesday in particular, because the movie theater by me does a special on Tuesdays. And so it's quite nice to get that $10 ticket at 4:30 in the afternoon to watch a movie to review later that night. But I definitely would not have spent the money on the most recent Crow remake. Maybe one day I'll go over that. Maybe one day me and Matthew will talk about it. But I just wanted to bring that up really quickly. I know that just recently, just a couple days ago, and yeah, burner phone 615, and I know 3-star good old Cabrini Green bringing that up. Yeah, man. Look, anybody that can start a career in a place like Hollywood, and you think about this too, right? Like 1992 is when Candyman came out. Well, he's 69 years old. This is 2024, right? So, we're looking at 30 plus years. Gentleman was not even 40 years old. That's a hell of a career, right? Working actor till the very end. And so I'm not saying we celebrate a loss, but at the same time though, we definitely need to recognize a legend And I know he was definitely a legend on the con circuit for sure, right? So if you were lucky enough maybe to get his autograph or a picture, I'm sure really nice guy. Everything that I've heard and whatnot about him has been nothing but like nice words. So anyway, always hate to hear that. It is a time in my life at almost 50 where, and I know my mother went through this, and I know, maybe some of you out there, a little older or whatever, or a little younger, where the people that you grew up watching, musicians, movie stars, TV stars, they start to pass away. And, you start to kind of realize, wow, like I watched, a million shows with this person, all kinds of movies with this person, and you forget, that they're in their 70s, 80s, whatever, right? Late 60s. And just to bring that home, I want to share with you this picture of Andre 3000. And look how old this motherfucker look now. It got me thinking. So I came across an article about the Grammys, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about the Grammys. And who cares about the Grammys anymore? Nobody I know. And I saw this picture of Andre 3000 associated with this article. And holy shit. Hey, 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 bombs over Baghdad. And Andre 3000, he looking like Grandpa 3000. Oh my God. It was striking to me when I saw the picture. So I had to save it because I'm like, damn, this is Andre 3000. All gray and shit. Some of y'all might get that. Some of y'all might not. I don't know. There's no real story behind that. It's just I saw that picture and I thought, dang, man. Yes, look, old black, where's Waldo? Exactly, 3 star. That's exactly what he looked like. That's right. That you filled in the blank for me. That's exactly it. I I just saw that and I thought, man, and yes, no time. Black people don't age, but evidently Andre did. Man, if he dyed his hair, look, hang on, look. I'm gonna bring this picture back up. I might even bring up Microsoft Paint. Right, like, let's color his hair black and shit. I don't even know if I can do that. We could do it in real time. That would be fun. Maybe I can. I don't know. Anyway, I haven't got that advanced on my streams yet, y'all. So, yes, look, like if his hair was black, right, and not gray, he would look like he did in the videos, right? Like, there's no lie. Like, you're right. No time. Black people don't age. They really don't. I mean, come on. Let's not beat around the bush now. And anybody that knows me knows I don't give a shit. I tell it like it is. Black don't crack. That's right. But Andre 3K got hairline fractures. God damn. Holy moly, it's out of control. It's out of control. Um, but hell, he got a smile. God, he's got a smile. Whatever. I wish I had a smile like that. On the other hand, this chick on the left side, Ariana Grande or whatever the fuck. Whatever. Andre 3000, far more important than the girl on the left. Anyway. God dang. Wait a minute. Leave Where's Chaperone alone. What was that movie? I know No Time probably knows. What was the movie he did? Maybe y'all all know that he did. What's the one movie he did? Was it called Rosewood or something Wood or Cheekwood? Whatever it was. I remember he did one movie. Uh Holy shit. All right. So, I'm sure you all saw the thumbnail. Um, we had an election last Tuesday. Now, I'm not going to get on I'm not going to get on a horse. I'm not going to go crazy. Um, but we had an election last Tuesday, and while I know many people um, feel like we probably, both candidates were not what you would ideally want, right? I understand that. I do. It's not beyond me. Um, but it was rather overwhelming, um, to say the least, especially flipping certain states. That's a big deal, and it should not be overlooked. Um, so I thought we'd have some fun looking at some celebrities and drinking celebrity tears. Now, the reason I talk about the celebrity tears, because I know real, normal, hardworking Americans, normal people, um, the only thing they really want is they want to get up, they want to go to work, they want to make a decent living, some better than others. They want to buy their toys, whatever those toys may be, and they want to feed their families, right? And have a good time. That's it. Those are the basics of life. So, regardless of who your candidate was or is or whatever, um, those basic tenets are pretty common amongst most people, right? So, but celebrities, man, oh man, oh man, celebrities take it to a whole different um, ball game, right? And so I thought it would be fun to just kind of look through some of the celebrity posts that we've gotten, maybe some videos, and just kind of see how ridiculous that some people are and how the hyperbole can really get out of control. All right. Um, Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is a very disgusting person. I love Luke Skywalker. I really do. But if you actually go onto his Twitter feed and you look at some of the things Mark Hamill has posted, they will make you become a not a fan of Luke Skywalker. And and so I just kind of wanted to go through like the meltdown, so to speak, from that part place, which is a good website to go to. It is slanted, I'm not gonna lie. But Mark Hamill, man, his tweets are really hard to get through sometimes. And this is a privileged person. This is somebody who's lived a wonderful life given to him by George Lucas, handpicked. Um, he has done nothing really other than voice the Joker in video games and animation and played Luke Skywalker. And other than that, that's about all this man has done. Now, I'm not saying those aren't big things, right? Those are big things. But this is somebody who doesn't live like most of us live. So I always think it's interesting to see what people like this think, right? I think most of us don't really care. And I also agree. But I do think it's interesting. So Mark Hamill, this was at 5:25 p.m. November 6th. This has got 3.3 million views. They say we get the leaders we deserve. Either that has just been disproven or this is not the America we all thought we were living in. Um, Now that rather mild, right? Pretty mild. Um, but then we get our trained on his treason. We get voters on Donald Trump. Let's put him court sitting there with a judge and 12 jurors listening. Let's see how he feels about it. When the facts are trained on his treason. This is over Trump on Liz Cheney. And, I'm not a fan of Trump making comments like, let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her. Let's see how she feels about it. When the guns are trained on her face. I'm not a fan of statements like that. So I get it. I get, Mark kind of giving his, I've done this before, right? I've taken a statement, I flipped it around on Facebook or something like that. But then we get a vote for Trump is a vote for Putin. Now, how many of us believe that, right? Like, how many of us believe a vote for Trump is a vote for Putin? And because if I last remember, when Trump was in office, Putin did not invade Ukraine, right? He didn't do anything, actually. I would dare say in the last 4 years, he probably would not have done what he has done if Trump were still in office, right? Or were in office. Can't say that with 100% certainty, but then we have another tweet. People in my replies accuse me of Trump derangement syndrome, which is classically known as TDS, which a lot of people do have. And they don't know why. They don't really know why they have it, right? Trump lives rent-free in their head for some reason, and they don't really know why they have it, but they have it. They can't articulate it. Oh, he hates immigrants. Oh, he's taking away my inalienable rights when they don't even really know what that means, right? People in my replies, Mark Hamill says, accusing me of Trump derangement syndrome couldn't be more correct. I fully believe he is profoundly deranged and proves it on a daily basis. Sadly, Mark, he's your president now. Of course, we have the Project 2025, a 900-page document. We've all heard about that. You have 4 minutes to watch a preview of the apocalyptic horrors to come if he gets a second term. Now, do any of you believe that we are going to be in an apocalypse in Trump's second term? Just being honest. Like you don't like him, that's fine. And I fully understand that. But do you believe we're going to be in an apocalypse? Like, do you actually believe we're going to be in an apocalypse in the next 4 years? Do you think this is going to be fallout in essence? Right? So, it took Mark a little bit. It took Mark a little while to get on Twitter. He actually was not very active on Twitter during the election process. Now, later in the day, he actually got quite active on there. But let's see if I can find real quick. See if I can find what I really want to find. Oh no, I can't show this. I don't want to play somebody else's video. That's the thing. I don't want to bore you guys with watching a video. God, it's all YouTube videos. So anyway, so the thing of it is though, is that like, okay, Mark Hamill, celebrity. If you just Google like, Mark Hamill's unhinged rants and stuff like that, you'll find some of them. Some of them are very mild. I will say that Mark Hamill did pressure his granddaughter into having what do you call it? Rhymes with portion, I guess. Portion. Kind of pressured her, used his influence to pressure her into having a portion. So for those of you that, I mean, look, I'm all about women's rights, all about it, but when you read into the actual story of what happened there, it's pretty rough. Let's see here. War Chest says he was Jimi Hendrix. I also believe he was Jackie Moon's main man when he played with the Flint Tropics. You talking about Tony Todd? Who you talking about? Drinking about a kayak that float the river. I'd love to float the river. I don't want to go to work and deal with these people. I just want to have fun. No time to chat. War Chest, celebrities are complete fools. You don't even know if it's really how they feel or if they're being paid to say that. I would say that chances are a lot of times it is their publicist and they're just being fed information. Nobody cares what celebrities think. I agree. Let's see here. Ronnie, freaking trick shot. What is going on, buddy boy? How are you, my friend? Okay, so if I can get this freaking article up. The worst thing about trying to bring articles up online and bring up stories is the ads. And so trying to share like something online or share something on a stream is really difficult because the ads completely just take over. Like completely take over. Did let me ask you this. Did any of y'all see the View the day after the election? Viper Scout, what's going on? To watch Whoopi Goldberg and some of the women go on there and say some of the stuff they said, which is, women now have less civil rights than they've ever had before. To see CNN say that the night of the election that it's not just white men that are misogynists now because they didn't vote for Harris. Latino men are misogynists. Black men are misogynists. Muslim men are misogynists. So to paint with a broad brush, I think is to paint with a broad brush like that because Trump got reelected. To just say that because men didn't vote for Harris, they're misogynists is obviously disingenuous, right? It has nothing to do with misogyny. It has to do with someone who was inserted by their party without going through the process that has been set up by our government to elect their party's candidate. But instead, they went that process, right? They didn't use that process. They went ahead, inserted a candidate, hoping that she could use the funds that were raised for Biden's reelection campaign, and inserted her as their party's candidate. And they forced that on every one of their senators, right? Every one of their House and Senate representatives. They forced a candidate on that they may not very well have voted for, that they may not have won. Even had they had primaries 4 years ago, was the first person voted out, didn't get a single vote. And now all of a sudden this person's running for president. Now the theory is that Harris was put in there because the Democrats didn't want to use their best candidates, that they want to save their best candidates for 4 years from now, and that they didn't want to waste someone good by them losing, right? So you just trot out whoever that you can. Right. And in this case, it was Harris. She's vice president. It's obviously the most notable person they had in office at the time. And so, so I find it interesting that, so many celebrities that came out in support of Harris. And if you watched me last Friday, I went on a rant about the Avengers, the original Avengers Assembly. And they put this video out and they said, "Oh, we're down with democracy, down with democracy." Now, of course, at the end of the video, they all come together and they say, "We're for Kamala Harris, and if you're down with them, we're down with Kamala and democracy." But it's like saying the quiet part out loud. And I said it last week, down with democracy. So the whole thing, this whole campaign, all you've heard is Harris and her party and talk about if Trump is reelected, it's the threat to democracy. Well, they've already circumvented democracy by not having primaries for a candidate that they inserted, hoping to be able to use the money that was raised for the president of the United States. And then they spent millions of dollars on celebrity endorsements like Megan Thee Stallion, Lady Gaga. She paid Oprah Winfrey $1 million so Oprah could interview her. You know, it was a sham from the beginning, and I think we all knew that. And I get it. A lot of people say, "Well, it's I didn't, either candidate, I didn't care," right? And no time to chat says, from a mod. The Dems ran a bad campaign, should have had a real primary. Let's put aside the decisiveness and work to find commonality across the aisle to actually affect change. And I agree 100%. That's the thing, right? Like I am all about that. And no matter who wins, ultimately at the end of the day, the rhetoric that's been coming from our celebrities, and if I can get these ads off of this damn website, I'll try to share this article. Is that, you know, does anybody care what celebrities have to say? And I know they think that people do. Like they think people really do care. Like really care what they have to say. And that's why they make the videos. That's why, they sign up for the concerts and it's twerk for Kamala, whatever the fuck. You know, it's but it's interesting to me that celebrities in particular, it's always been this way. I'm not saying this is new, feel so emboldened, and and what you'll find is they also feel like Hollywood is going to come under attack. That they literally think that Trump's going to go after Hollywood. Well, how? Like, how would he go after Hollywood? In the 40s and the 50s, and you had communists, and you had the FBI and the CIA keeping tabs on celebrities and thinking certain people were communists and stuff like that. Yeah, that was real shit. They followed Lou Gehrig and Marilyn Monroe around. There were many celebrities were thought to be communists, and they probably were. But with today, what is Trump going to do to Hollywood? And what do these rich people in Hollywood think's going to happen? They've done that to themselves. If they feel like people don't like them, or they feel like politicians don't care for them, it's because they've done that to themselves. They've attacked their fan bases. They've called Trump voters racist. They've called them misogynist. My mother, 75 years old, being compared to Adolf Hitler. I mean, seriously? The shit is unreal to me. Like, it's such hyperbole. And that's where, to me, like, as just a normal person, I look at it and I go, really? Like, these people really think this way? Or are they being paid to think this way? Or is their publicist filling their head? Most of them have a high school education. Most of them in Hollywood go out there when they're teenagers or less. They have a high school education. They're fucking stupid as shit. And you're going to say that someone like my mother is a misogynist? Number one, if it was a valid female candidate for president, do you not think my mother would not want to vote a woman in office? She ain't voting for Kamala Harris. I don't care what color she is. The bitch is dumb. She wasn't qualified. Let's not kid ourselves. Like, seriously. But, to compare people like that to Yahtzees, Confederates, it's such hyperbole. And it just shows you, like, the level that these people will go to, that stoop to. And yet at the same time, they still want you to come see their movies, right? They still want you to come watch their shows. And that's what amazes me. And it's the out of touch, like the out of actually out of touch. And I love this headline. Hang on, here it is. Yeah, sorry. Billie Eilish, you know, says he hates women. Sure, sure he does. Come on. Going through some of these reactions really quick. I want to look at the chat real quick because I know you guys. 3 Star says I don't see the View anytime, and I agree with you. The only reason I saw is because it came up, and I had to watch. I watched their reactions. Yes, I watched the View for that reason only. A lot of people did because they wanted to see like these. I mean, dude, you want go back and watch some video from the day after, and you'll roll your eyes. I mean, literally. And you got all these women in the audience like clapping, and they're just like, woo. And it's some of the most inane, ridiculous, hyperbolic comments. But they're on TV, right? So that's what they have to do. Yes, people are sick of wokeism. I don't care left or right. People are tired of it, right? People like a meritocracy. They like people being qualified for the job, doing the job, and getting the job done. You can't build fucking airplanes if you promote people who aren't qualified to build fucking airplanes. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't know how else you could put it, right? 20,000 feet in the air. Who do you want building the fucking door on the airplane? Somebody who got put in that position because the color of their skin, or because they know how to fucking do the job. Seriously. It's that simple. And that's life or death. We're talking about movies, TV, entertainment, right? War Chest says her campaign was completely disconnected from the people. Yes. Policies. Yes. Or real issues. Yes. It was a celebrity petting zoo. Usually is. With over $1 billion spent. Yes. Now Kamala is still over $20 million in debt. Well, she's not going to pay for that. I mean, either way, I mean, the thing of it is that I want to go over some of these celebrity responses, and these are pro and con. These are Roseanne Barr, for instance, says, okay, suggesting she'd be nominated as press secretary. She said, okay, I will do it. Well, I would do it. I was nominated for Secretary of State today at my job. Billie Eilish says at a concert in Nashville Wednesday night, she said, someone who hates women so deeply is about to be the president. Sure. Danica Patrick endorsed Trump ahead of voting for president for the first time. Has been active on X since his victory, saying public schools will be safe again soon for kids. I don't believe that. And the people have spoken. I do believe that. Actress Lily Reinhart spoke about claims of sexual assault against Trump and said her heart absolutely breaks for women who saw millions of people vote for their abuser. Hyperbole much, Lily? Trump was found liable for the sexual abuse of writer E. Jean Carroll in 2023. Libel is a whole different ballgame. And really a weird case, to be honest with you. And she posted a 5-word response. I tried to tell you. Mark Hamill, we saw that just a little while ago. YouTuber and boxer Jake Paul. Very, very smart man. Very smart man, Jake Paul. YouTuber and boxer Jake Paul, who posted a lengthy video in support of Trump. Jake Paul, stupid, but I will tell you, smart when it comes to marketing himself. Call the result a massive step in the right direction to heal the major issues going on in the world. Currently, America is saved. I won't say that. Trump supporter Hulk Hogan called for unity in his post-election message, saying this election season showed just how much we all care about where this country's headed. Now, that's a level-headed message. That's a level-headed tweet, right? Pretty level-headed. Brittany Aldean. You may know her as Jason Aldean's wife. That's the only thing I know her as. Posted a photo tuning into Fox News on Wednesday, writing feels like Christmas morning. I saw that a lot. Kevin Sorbo, formerly known or on X, which Kevin Sorbo was Hercules, right? Show Hercules. Christ is King. Trump is president. Good night. LeBron James called Harris the clear choice for president. Well, I would definitely disagree with that. Posted a photo with his daughter with a promise to protect you. Now, we're talking about we're talking about a billionaire. Okay, LeBron James, billionaire. His daughter will never have to want for nothing. She will never struggle. She will never know what it's like ever a day in her life forever until she dies on her deathbed. Ever know what it's like to be protected the way LeBron James insinuates she needs to be protected. Let's not fuck around. Right? Like those are the ones that I find, you know, you want to put out a message of hope and to put out a message, oh, I'm deeply disappointed, whatever. Number one, Harris was not a clear choice. Let's not kid ourselves. Number two, LeBron James's daughter does not need to be protected by LeBron James. Actor John Cusack, who is a full nutbag. The fact that the country would choose to destroy itself by voting in a convicted felon drapist, he does drapes, and Yahtzee is a sign of deep nihilism, to put it mildly. I love the left. They love the convicted felon thing. Right? Anytime that they can bring that up, it obviously nobody cared. It's one thing to be a convicted felon because you, I don't know, seriously killed someone, murdered, maimed, hurt. Like, there's different levels of felony. Trust me. Different levels of felony. A friend of mine has one, can't vote. Never hurt a fly. Different levels of felony. Actresses Hilary Duff, Jessica Alba, as well as model Kendall Jenner, because everybody wants to know what the fuck Kendall Jenner has to say, right? Reposted a message calling women the heartbeat of progress, because men are obviously not worth a shit. You are seen, valued, and unstoppable. Your strength and prowess are changing the world. The word. Oh, she couldn't even get that right. The world. Because men are worthless. Women, right? Trump got elected. Women are obviously valued and unstoppable, and men are devalued, and fathers in the black homes and black communities are not worth anything. Who gives a shit? As long as somebody can get on welfare and get money and have kids and live on the government, who gives a shit about self-responsibility, right? Yeah, look, I love women. Anybody that knows me knows I love women. I got a 16-year-old sitting over here because I loved a woman. All right. Men are important too. You don't hear it enough. And for the men out there, you need to hear it. You are important. You have been told you're less important now than ever before in the history of our country. You are important. Black men are important. Hispanic men are important. You're not misogynists because you didn't vote for Kamala Harris. Whoopi Goldberg refused to say Trump's name while on The View early Wednesday, while co-hosts Sunny Hostin and Joy Behar, there's no joy in Joy Behar, respectively, said they were profoundly disturbed, vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made. Well, they can vehemently disagree all they want, but he flipped 3 critical states and overwhelmingly won the popular vote, so they can disagree all they want. Singer and actress Ariana Grande posted she is holding the hand of every person who is feeling the immeasurable heaviness of this outcome today. My chest is so heavy. I couldn't believe Trump won. I'm so heavy today. I still got to show up for my 4 o'clock shift, bitches. Oh, God. 50 Cent, who didn't clearly endorse any candidate ahead of the election, but did say, so he didn't endorse anybody, but he did go out of his way to say that he turned down millions of dollars to perform at Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. Well, that was stupid on his part. Last I heard, he was struggling. I don't know. Maybe he should have taken the money. Posted photos of himself with Trump on Instagram with the caption, I don't care how the fight goes. I'm leaving with the winner shit. I still don't know what's going on. Couldn't have said it better myself about you, 50 Cent. Wraith Face, Wraith Mace, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Actor Kevin McHale, which I always enjoyed Kevin McHale. I loved him on Talk Soup. That was a fun show. What was that on E? I think something like that. Posted of the Trump victory, Supreme Court gone for the rest of my lifetime. So the Supreme Court is gone for the rest of Kevin McHale's lifetime. Now, I would say he's in his 50s, maybe late 40s. He might be my age. I'd say he's a little older. So for the next 30 years, 40 years, the Supreme Court is gone. It's just gone. It disappeared. Completely disappeared. It's gone. Ultra conservative, evangelical bigotry, xenophobia, racism is the mandate. I don't think so. Like, that's the mandate they want you to believe, right? Like, but it's not the mandate. You know that. I know that. Real Americans, normal working, everyday, hardworking people know that's not the truth, right? You know people that are right, left, and whatever. And you talk to them every day. You hold the door open for them. You check out at the counter with them. You get your drink made by them, right? You buy your food. You get your tires changed. You do. That shit don't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Real, normal people is what I'm talking about. These are celebrities. They have to draw attention to themselves. Joe Rogan, who hosted Trump on a successful podcast, and that was a big deal. Endorsement the day before the election. That was a big deal. That is one person in this country who holds sway is a guy named Joe Rogan. It's just true. Dana White, also true. And he was also there when Trump spoke at 2 a.m. Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy, a Trump supporter, said the Harris campaign pure arrogance and their moral superiority drove voters away. Democrats spent the campaign acting like you're better than us, smarter than us, and frankly insulting our intelligence. I do agree with that. I do. It was generally accepted practice from the left to talk down, but especially from celebrities, which I'm talking about, to talk down to those who were Trump supporters. That's just the truth. Name calling. I'm not saying it didn't happen on both sides, but name calling, talking down, acting as if Trump supporters were Neanderthals, that they were misogynists, that they were racist. I mean, you heard it. You all heard it. You all know it, right? You heard it. Now, Jon Stewart, continue to fight, continue to work day in and day out to create a better society for our children, for this world, for this country that we know is possible. Okay. And that's what he told Harris supporters. I would tell all supporters that. That's a great message for anybody. Jamie Lee Curtis, a little unhinged. Encourage Harris supporters to fight against tyranny. So Trump equals tyranny, which is such hyperbole. Again, one day at a time. Yeah, Mary Tyler. Or what's her name? Not Mary Tyler. It's what the hell was her name? Anyway, said Trump's victory means a sure return to a more restrictive, some fear draconian time. Well, I remember 2016 and 2020 was not very draconian. It's a very good economy. Made a lot of money, had a lot of fun, and I don't remember it being very draconian. And no wars, no foreign wars, actually. At least we weren't involved in any. Christine Applegate posted her confusion about the results, said, "My child is sobbing because her rights as a woman may be taken away." Not going to happen. What rights? She's not going to be able to vote. I mean, come on. We know what that's about. We all know that's Roe v. Wade. It's in states' hands. It's not the federal government's decision to decide. It's not their job to decide for us. States' rights are better as a whole than the government inserting their will over the people. Period. We don't need more government. We need less states' rights. Period. Bette Midler, now I love this, on Wednesday posted a photo threatening to drink a bottle of Drano. Well, Bette, don't threaten. Bette, don't threaten. Just do it. Don't threaten, Bette. Just do it. You ever seen the movie Heathers? Anyway, posted a photo threatening to drink a bottle of Drano, a toxic household cleaning chemical, if Trump won, and after the results were revealed, shared a quote about the presidency being won by men who are intrinsically the most devious and mediocre before deactivating her ex account. Again, Bet, don't threaten. Don't threaten me with a good time, Bet. Drink that Drano, girl. You go. You get it. I remember in the 80s, you were funny. You were fun. You got famous for some fucking reason. Still not sure why. Beaches. The fuck ever. All right. Last but not least, my friends, rapper Cardi B. I had to finish on this one. Rapper Cardi B, who campaigned for Harris, said she felt really sad after Trump's win. In an Instagram live, said to those who voted for Trump, I swear to God, I'm going to fuck you up. Get away from me. I'm sick of you. Because in Cardi B's daily life, she probably comes across Trump supporters every minute of every damn day. Right, Cardi? Every day, every concert, every rehearsal, every photo shoot, every cheek clapping, twerk having night on the town. You come across Trump supporters. They better get the fuck away from you, girl, because you going to fuck them up. Because you mean business. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Burner Phone says, look up what Caitlyn Jenner said. Something like, I haven't seen a woman get beat that bad since the Olympics. Listen, women out there listening, and there might be a couple of you. I know one in particular. There is a story I do want to bring up. There is a story I want to bring up because I do love women. Even though I voted for Trump, I do love women. And this is a story I want y'all to know about. The Wyoming women's volleyball team has announced its second forfeit against San Jose State University and transgender player Blair Fleming. This is the second time that the Wyoming Cowgirls, God, reverse them, Cowgirls, reverse them. The Wyoming Cowgirls volleyball team forfeited its first match against San Jose State last month due to the presence of transgender player Blair Fleming. On Friday, the school announced that it would forfeit its second scheduled contest against San Jose State University as well. More teams should do this. We have actually seen male volleyball players spiking balls into the faces of females. There's a famous one out there. Now, look, team sport, I'm not saying that it's the end all be all. But I am okay with this because I think women's sports should be protected. I love women. I said that earlier. I'll say it again. Just because I voted for Trump doesn't mean I hate women. I love women. I got the proof. Proof is in the pudding, my friends. I got the proof. I love women. I do. And I love women so much, I don't want them being disadvantaged when they play sports by having to play against a biological male. That's how much I love women. I don't want them to have to swim against them. I don't want them to get struck out by someone pitching to them. I don't want them to get fucking dunked on. Because women can't dunk. Yeah, there's a couple out there. We all know that. But mostly women can't dunk. This should be protected. Think about how hard women fought for decades for Title IX, for equal rights for women's sports. Think about how hard they fight for equal pay, even though women's sports do not bring in the revenue that men's sports do. They still fight for the revenue. to value women, biological women. When you let biological men who have an advantage, period, no debate, define what is a woman, you know what I mean. Okay. Biological woman, biological man. There are differences. Muscle mass. Okay. The ligaments, the tendons. I don't care. It could be heart size. It could be fat, the amount of fat on the body or lack of. There is a fundamental difference scientifically. It is absolutely provable and undeniable. And when you have women's sports being invaded, records being broken by biological men who get their moment in the sun because they won the race against a bunch of women, that should not be celebrated, right? It just shouldn't. Now, laws want to be passed, want to allow people to try to figure out how to let transgender athletes compete against each other. That's fine, but realistically, you could identify as a female, but you're a biological male. Well, guess what? Who you get to compete against? You get to compete against men. That's just the facts. And then see, that's where your Leah Thomases in the swimming circuit is a fucking loser because she can't beat the other guys, but she can go to the women's circuit and beat the women, right? So she feels validated, vindicated, a winner in life. And meanwhile, you have women who work hard, train hard, at a disadvantage physically from men. But the rules of competition state they're able to compete at the highest level of their sport. And when you allow this kind of nonsense, you devalue women. You devalue their hard work. You devalue what they themselves are for just in themselves by allowing a biological man to compete against them. It's cut and dried. This should not be debated in our country. This should not be, the NCAA should not hem and haw. The Olympics should not hem and haw. It is what it is. There is a complete disadvantage. And, it's, we know that. Common sense people know this. And I applaud Wyoming's women's volleyball team for forfeiting. Could this cost them a chance to advance? Could this cost them? Yes, it could. It absolutely could. As a matter of fact, right here, it says this was a big loss for the Cowgirls to take because they're currently 7th in the Mountain West Conference standings. Only the top 6 teams in the regular season advance to the conference tournament, where the winner receives an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. So by forfeiting twice in one season, these women are saying we don't give a shit about competing in a tournament because we stand for equality for women in women's sports. It's that simple. Let me go to the chat real quick just to look. I noticed too, Burner Phone says, like Caitlyn said. Caitlyn Jenner is actually very, very pro what this Wyoming women's team is doing. This is a transgender person, Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, who is not with that whole thing, that whole movement. This is a person who realizes and understands that and has said many common sense things in favor of women. He understands that. He competed at the highest fucking level in the Olympics, for Christ's sake. I think she knows what she's talking about, if I'm going to be correct. Viper Scout says that can be solved very easily. Make an all-gender category and a bio woman. There you go. I'm with it. If there's that many transgender athletes that really want to break in and play, But that's the deal, Viper Scout. You understand that because it's not that many. So people will use that argument. Well, it's not that many. It's not like it's an epidemic. It's not like but we can make this exception. There's not enough to field a team, right? Right, Viper? Like there's not enough to field a fucking baseball team. There's not enough to field a fucking basketball team, really. But you get what I'm saying. Um, Menjoza, what is up, my friend? Thank you for stopping in, and hopefully I don't run you off. The subject matter isn't always what me and Matthew talk about, but this is my personal show, and it's unfiltered, and that's where I'll be, unfiltered. Um, and hopefully you listen. If you don't like it, let me know. If you do like it, let me know. And always up for debate. And I'm always up for being educated and having someone educate on any subject. Tell me. I love listening and watching various sides to everything. I really do. And so, by all means, Ronnie, trick shot. Let's see here. Spiking balls in the faces of females. Hey, listen, no time. That was back in the day. I'm a little old now. It's been a while. You know what I'm saying, girl? And I just, I did set myself up for that, by the way. Ronnie Trickshot says, are able-bodied males allowed to compete against Paralympians? No. Are able-bodied males allowed to compete against junior athletes? No. Why are they allowed to compete against women? I agree 100%. It's pretty clear and cut, Ronnie. That's the thing, right? And Warchest says too, women don't stand a chance in tetherball now. Yeah, dude, I played the shit out of tetherball, and I probably would have broke some noses back in the day. But when you have guns like these, Warchest, man, you can't help but hurt people sometimes, bro. You know what I mean? It's life. Real quick, too, I wanted to highlight this. During the last election cycle, Warchest says they let Cardi B interview Joe Biden. At that point, I knew the left lost their damn minds. Someone was putting cat food in the jello. Exactly. Right? Um, that says everything for itself. It speaks for itself, right? But anyway, so despite the repercussions, right? The team in school decided to put the safety of its women's volleyball team and fairness in women's sports above trying to compete for a Mountain West championship. I commend them. Boise State, Nevada, Utah State, all same position. While Nevada is unlikely to reach the conference tournament, Utah and Boise State are in 4th and 6th place, respectively. If the season ended today, both schools will be invited. Would they choose to forfeit a conference tournament match should one occur against San Jose State and Blair Fleming, which would end their seasons? We don't know that right now, but the possibility is out there, right? Now, let's not kid ourselves. Hello, lady. Oh, yeah. And the chick on the right, too. Anyway, so here's the deal. It takes a lot of look, your own let's say you're a college athlete. You got 4 years eligibility. And let's say one of those years as a team, you vote, you decide, you say, look, we're not and do they have a chance to make the conference tournament, with the losses? Maybe not. But as a team, you stand up together and you say, we're going to fight against this. And I appreciate that. I value that. Again, I love women. I love women more than you do. And if you're a woman, I love women more than you do. I love you more than you love yourself. That's how much I love women. Just like I hate cancer more than you do. I hate cancer so much, I hate it more than you do. That's how much I want you to know how much I hate cancer, is that I hate it more than you do. And I love women more than you do too. Um, but we need to stop this shit. Like, we've got to put an end to the madness. And I think what you saw Tuesday, regardless of your candidate, regardless if you're happy or not, is at least an overall, overwhelming, popular vote, state flipping chance to put this shit to bed for a while. it's gotten out of hand. And War Chest, I agree with you. I don't hate cancer more than you. And of course, I kid because I care. Um, but it's the and me just so you know, me saying that is the whole thing about people who love to bring that attention, right? Like, I love women more than you. I love, but I digress. Bottom line is that I do wish that look, I would guarantee, I would 100% guarantee any of y'all in this chat, anybody that watches this, does not go out of their way to make people feel uncomfortable. You do not go out of your way to denigrate anybody, to be mean, to disrespect anybody. I guarantee, I know that because all of you are probably just normal, working, hardworking, everyday people who just want to be left alone for one. And so I know that, like, no one it's such a rare occasion when people go out of their way to be offensive. Most people go out of their way to not be offensive. But we have to stop being quiet. We have to stop taking common sense and just saying, like, keeping it to ourselves. We have to be able to be brave enough to say, this is wrong. This is not right. And it needs to stop. It needs to change. This movement, whatever this fucking pronoun, they, them, like, pro trans, like, people don't give a shit if somebody wants to live their life that way. They don't care. But people also don't want to be forced to have to either A, recognize, B, go out of their way to recognize, or C, have to address somebody in a fucking way that doesn't matter. People are tired of it. They're tired of it. I got you. And I'll see you soon. Love you too. You know that. Penguin. All day, no time. But anyway, so no one goes out of their way. I know nobody does. And 3-Star Draw says, I love women more from afar these days. I hear you there. Maybe I should go out more often. But no, you don't want tampons in the boys' bathrooms. It's ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you can have all the respect for other people in the world, but you know what is fucking weird and what is fucking normal. Period. Free speech, that's fine. But we also know what is overwhelming majority. Doesn't mean you have to be mean. Doesn't mean you have to go out of your way to be mean. But at the same token, it doesn't mean that you have to just not stand for what you believe in and what you stand for. You don't have to be quiet. Bobby Wold says, hopefully the next 4 years we get sanity back. 100% I agree, because it's been insane and it's gotten insane. It's gotten out of control. And here is another story I will present to y'all about the insanity when it comes to video games. Sweet Baby Inc. is a consulting firm. This is a consulting firm of women who know nothing about video games. They know nothing about scripts. They know nothing about writing. They know nothing about character development. They know nothing about shit. What they do know about is somehow conning companies into giving them millions in video games to go through their scripts, their character creators, their characters in their video games, and making sure they're fucking woke as fuck. And while it is a tired word, it is a very true word. Sweet Baby Inc. is a consultancy firm. There has been now on Steam a page called Sweet Baby Inc. Sweet Baby Detected. There is a Brazilian video gamer named Cabrutus who has created a page on Steam. If you play video games, you know what Steam is. It identifies every video game that has anything to do with this consultancy firm. This is a group of women who have been paid millions of dollars, and they have fundamentally changed the very scripts, characters, and stories in the video game industry. Grant Roberts, former Sweet Baby Inc. employee, good looking fellow there. Love your glasses, Grant, is now the narrative director and associate studio director at Longdo. Made it clear that the company has no plans to change despite the massive, and I mean massive, backlash it has received for pushing its woke ideology into video games. He worked with Sweet Baby Inc., narrative director for a year and a half. He told The Gamer that developers are still working with the company and that the backlash will not stop the company's agenda. He said Roberts first asserted that companies were not pulling their support from Sweet Baby Inc. when it really reached its apex. When Elon Musk was tweeting about us, companies were reaching out to us privately and showing support. Nobody was pulling that support. He then attempted to explain why there is hardly any support for the company being made publicly. I think the reason we've had more support privately than publicly is because when people do speak up publicly, we knew they were opening themselves up to attacks. So, Sony, Microsoft, any big studio that you've heard of, Bethesda, whatever, have all worked with this company. They've all worked with Sweet Baby Inc. If you know the game Alan Wake 2, you will know that they consulted with Sweet Baby Inc. And I'll tell you how they came about their name, by the way. I'll tell you how they came about their name. But Alan Wake 2 is a Norse mythological video game, and they changed the female protagonist in the game, who was a blonde-haired Norse character, to a black female. Only because they consulted Sweet Baby Inc. And Sweet Baby Inc. told them that they could not have a Norse white female character as the lead character in this video game. They suggested that it would be better if they changed her race, and they did. There are early screen tests and shots and video of the original character, early trailers. And then all of a sudden, the company, the developers that developed the game, changed course, and they brought in a black female protagonist. Now, that in itself, nothing wrong with, except when it's done disingenuously. And also, within the game, it makes no sense. There are lines within the game. There are characters. There are relatives within the game that are related to the protagonist that make no sense whatsoever. There are Viking hard rock metal band playing in the game, singing about Viking shit in the game, related to the female protagonist, that make no sense whatsoever. Now, it doesn't mean you can't write a story. It doesn't mean you can't change the race of a character. It doesn't mean any of that. When it's done disingenuously, that's where the problem is. And that's where this company comes in, Sweet Baby Inc. Now, I'll tell you, Sweet Baby Inc. got their name. How they got their name? The CEO, the director of Sweet Baby Inc., describes male gamers as little babies, fussy babies. Fussy babies like what they like. This is her saying, fussy babies like what they like, and when you try to give them something different, they're fussy and mean, and they don't like it. So they're little babies. We want them to be sweet little babies, so we feed them what we want them to have over and over until they accept it. Sweet Baby Inc. So they look at male gamers, generally white, 18, 16, 15 to 30, as fussy babies. They look at men as fussy babies, and they like what they like. And because they don't like it, Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't like that. They will feed them what they like over and over until they become sweet babies, and they love it. That's where they got their name from. That's how they came about it. these people have no valued interest in video games. They don't care about making stories better. They don't care about the scripts. They don't care about the characters. They don't care about the story. They don't care about any of it. They care about getting their ideology into your games. And this is what they do. And they're paid millions of dollars to do it. Now, when they got exposed several months back, of course, you saw all the same things, right? The people that work for them came out and said, oh, this is a hit piece. Oh, it's people, they can't stand women. They hate women. They don't like minorities. They're all racist. Gamers are racist. They're istophobes. They hate trans people. They just don't want all that shit in their games, especially when it's disingenuous. This guy, Grant Roberts, says, he went on to declare he wished more companies did speak out publicly to defend Sweet Baby Inc. and its woke agenda. And I'll tell you why those companies have the woke agenda that they do. He says, what I personally would have liked to see is more institutions saying that this is wrong, that this is happening, that people are being targeted in this way. Sweet Baby Inc. isn't just a DEI company or a company that makes things more woke. Not that there's anything wrong with that in the first place, but even if there was, that's not everything that we do. It would have been nice to have seen more people and institutions learn the lessons of 10 years ago. Okay. Here's the deal. Fuck AT&T customer reward. I didn't reward anything. I didn't get anything from AT&T. What the hell? God damn it. All right. So here's the deal. Every company that you know right now that you can think of that isn't owned by Elon Musk has taken very small interest, high dollar loans from social governance companies. Social governance companies say, if you want this money, this is not conspiracy, this is true, you can look it up. BlackRock being one of the biggest. We have a set of rules you have to follow if you want this loan. Most companies need money to operate. Most companies have a lot of money going out to people and companies for loans and such. Hasbro being one of them. Many of you know that name. They are required to be socially responsible to the people they borrow the money from. That's how they get the money. Being socially responsible means they have to go by a set of check boxes when they create their media, when they create their toys, when they create their games, their books, their movies, their TV shows. Okay, so you get where I'm coming from. So think of it like this. Everything that you consume in the entertainment industry is in some way, shape, or form beholden to a set of check boxes that stifle creativity, which normal people have, stifle creativity, and are also extremely apparent to their consumers. We've seen movie after movie fail. We've seen video game after video game fail. We've seen video game studios close. We've seen comic books can't sell shit. Marvel, DC, the big ones, right? Can't sell worth a shit. We've watched all of this go down. We've watched company after company lose billions of dollars like Disney. And yet, they still continue down this path. That's some powerful shit. Like, that is some powerful shit. And if you read the stories that say, and I read them, hey, this company, they're gonna pull back from putting there's a board game that's out. It's a Mass Effect board game. They're wanting to remove the pronouns from the board game. right? Because nobody's buying the board game because it has fucking pronouns right there on the fucking board. When you roll it out, you lay it out, fold it out. There it is. They, them, he, her, she, them, whatever the fuck. People don't want to see that shit. So you'll see stories where companies are like, we're pulling back on that. We're gonna make products. We want our customers to be happy. It doesn't matter because they still owe millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, right? They still have loans to pay back and they still have to figure out a way to skate by this. Now, the jig is up. More Americans, more people in the world are becoming more in tune with this shit. They're seeing it. Their TV shows, they're tuning out. They're not going to the movies. They're not buying the video games, right? So we talk about the money loss. So more and more people, they get it. So what you're going to see the language change. You're going to see the language change. You're going to see the characters change. It's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be different. They're going to come out in a new way. They're going to try to massage it in a way that's palpable, that you can accept in your life. It's been in your face. It's like getting hit over the head with a sledgehammer. You're playing a video game and all of a sudden a character goes on a monologue about how women are somehow oppressed, or in the new Dragon Age game, there's literally several cutscenes about a non-binary person coming out to their parents and getting mad at the dinner table about the fact that they're non-binary and their parents need to accept it in a high fantasy game, mind you, in a fucking fantasy game. Pronouns in a fantasy game. So what we're going to see is the companies are going to tell you they're pulling back on this shit, but they're going to try to massage it and change the language. And you need to be on the lookout for that language, and you need to be on the lookout to watch it when it happens. You know it when you see it. When you watch a TV show now and there's no strong male characters, right? All the males are stupid or they're effeminate. You know it when you see it now, right? So you're going to be on the lookout for it. They're going to try to massage it and change it and figure out the new way to do it to make it acceptable. You have to be on the lookout. You have to stay on top of it. These companies still owe lots of money to these social government agencies that loan them the money. So it's not going away anytime soon. Plenty more shows, plenty more movies, plenty more bullshit. And plenty more consultancy companies, firms like Sweet Baby Inc. that are going to be getting paid millions of dollars. People who are not qualified in any shape, form, or fashion to write a fucking story are getting paid millions of dollars. You know why? Because they convinced a company that they know better. And that is powerful shit. Very powerful. War Chest says it takes no effort to be kind to people you meet in everyday life. I agree. I always treat others with respect, but if you show up dressed as Batman and demand I play along as Robin, miss me with that shit. 100%. I'm with you. Bobby Walls says, I wish I was a qualification years ago being hired with no experience or knowledge in the field. I'd be a doctor right now. Well, unfortunately, Bobby, the sad part is there are people in fields that are just as important at that as that that are getting paid a lot of money that are by no means qualified to do what they do. Seriously. And I agree, Ronnie Trickshot. There is nothing funny about menstruation. Period. Oh my gosh. And I want to keep reading these too. Let's see. Hang on. Min Joe's real quick. Has to mingle with the masses. He has to mingle with the masses sometimes. That's good. It doesn't matter if people get tired of woke shit. Video games, they know that Sweet Baby is working on a game. People start avoiding those titles. And that's very true. And they have been. And that's why I say that the Brazilian gamer, his name is Cabrutus. He started this title. He has been attacked to no ends. He has been attacked to no end. But all he's done is compile a list that is public knowledge. Now, you're starting to see a lot of these companies remove Sweet Baby Inc. from, they were proud to announce that they were working with Sweet Baby Inc. and some other consultancy firms. They were really proud to announce that shit. But you've started to see these companies remove that stuff from their websites. And so that's where it gets real insidious, right? Because they were really proud of it, even knowing it's full of shit, right? But of course, a lot of people tell you, I want to be on the right side of history. So these companies were really proud of that shit. Now they're removing it, but they're continuing to work with these firms. So that's where things get real murky. And that's where you have to be vigilant. The massive losses and drop in viewership would have been a wake up call for these companies. And now with the latest election results, it should be even clearer. People don't want DEI or woke agendas. Exactly. They don't. They don't. Now, the spirit, if people wants to, if someone wants to say the spirit of uplifting people, well, that's great. But people need to work for what they get. It's a meritocracy. This country is a meritocracy. Yes, there are people who get fucking lucky. Kendall Jenner has a pair of tits. She's related to the Kardashians. She got lucky. She won the genetic lottery, right? Discernible talent. Fucking black dudes. I guess. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Like, great. Good for her. I know a lot of people like that. It's not a talent, but I know a lot of people. um, so that's what I mean. Like, it's somebody's gonna clip that, I'm sure. Probably not. There's not that many people. Um, okay. So anyway, just my point is stay vigilant, right? Stay vigilant. Um, be on the lookout. Know what you're consuming. Know who's making it. And just don't just consume, right? Like, that's the hard part about escapism. They've made it hard for us to escape. That's what sucks about it, right? Like, it really does. It sucks. I just want to be able to watch shows and movies and shit and play video games and not think about that shit. And I never had to do that until the last like 7 or 8 years. And now all of a sudden it's fucking everywhere. Um, so real quick, Lucasfilm back in the news. Creative director Joel Aaron deleted his ex post below. Gina Carano quote tweeted it. Openly told 71 million Americans who voted Trump to go fuck themselves. Joel Aaron, fuck this disgusting scrotum skin sack and all who support him. Now, I'm all for people having freedom of speech, their individual rights to do whatever they want. I would dare say if you are the creative director for a company such as Lucasfilm, it's probably better to keep those thoughts to yourself. But obviously, Disney and Lucasfilm don't give a shit about that. Now, they were all about firing Gina Carano during COVID for basically saying that the United States was relying on its citizens to rat people out for not wearing a mask or standing 6 feet away. It was the same as the Yazis in the 30s and 40s using its citizens to rat out Jews, their friends, neighbors, relatives, maybe, to the Yazis. So they got the citizens to do the work for them. Well, COVID was the same thing. You had citizen against citizen, mask and non-mask, distance and no distance. How dare you? Husband and wife standing less than 6 feet apart. Holy shit. Hallelujah. Where's the Tylenol? All right. So, Joel Aaron, creative director at Lucasfilm. Fuck this disgusting scrotum skin sack and all who support him. So again, I'm all for freedom of speech. Absolutely. And yet this guy keeps his job, right? Pedro Pascal, who's been cast by Hollywood and everything now, has been able to keep getting jobs, even though he equated half the country from 2020 to Confederates voting for Trump. He kept his jobs, didn't get fired. I would just like to see things applied across the board evenly, equally, right? But that's not how it's done. That's definitely not how it's done at Disney. And definitely not how it's done at Lucasfilm. If things were applied equally across the board, Kathleen Kennedy would have been gone years ago for fucking up Star Wars. But I digress, my friends. All right. 2 more stories to bring up on a different note. Video game adaptations. Amazon seems to be keen on trying to do this. They brought Fallout to the masses, and they are developing a Mass Effect TV series. Now, any of you guys play Mass Effect in the chat? Love me some Shepard. I'm in the middle of a playthrough right now in the remastered Mass Effect. It's fantastic. Great trilogy. Highly recommended if you do play games. So, Amazon is trying to develop a Mass Effect television series. However, what worries me is that it is coming from someone who wrote on the Fast and Furious saga. The 9th installment, actually. So I'm not exactly sure how good the script will be, but it says Daniel Casey will not only write the show, he will executive produce as well. The one worry I have here is Ari Arad right here. He is famously known for fucking up Spider-Man 3, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3. And many other properties. And 3 Star says I tried, it wasn't for me. Yeah, I tell you, 3 Star, try again. I would encourage you to try again. I would say if you tried it way back in the day, and I remember when you had Crackdown, and I remember you had an Xbox, and I think I had maybe a PS3 or some shit, whatever, PS2. I don't know. Try it again. It is BioWare at its best, which unfortunately now BioWare is really no longer the same company. But man, it's some good shit. I give it a go. The remastered, the new one. It's remastered. They streamlined a lot of the skill points and things of that nature and made it a lot easier. The other game was very involved, very RPG involved in a way, but they've streamlined it a bit, and it's much more enjoyable to get through. I would definitely give it a shot. Bobby Wold says, I can't wait until we hear all about the discoveries from Disney. The Gina Carano case, I can't either. I can't wait. I want them to get to Discovery, and I want to watch all the fucking videos from my favorite creators about it. I can't wait. I really can't. I might make 1 or 2 myself if I can do it. But yeah, Discovery with Disney. Holy moly. Elon Musk funded that lawsuit for Gina Carano, which is amazing. Anyway, Amazon MGM studio boss Jennifer Salks shared with Andreva being a reporter for Deadline. You will see us continuing to invest in fantasy genre of all kinds. We have a genre-focused team on the ground in studios who work tirelessly with our creative partners on those slates, and you can look forward to more. If they can do for Mass Effect what was done for Fallout, which was not a perfect show by any means, and Lord knows I do not like the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. That show is fucking garbage. But I did like Fallout. It was somewhat true to the games and the themes, the spirit of it, and I appreciated it. Yes, there were issues there, but I thought they were minor enough, and it was a fun enough story, and the spirit of Fallout was there. And so I encourage anybody to check out Fallout on Amazon if you have it. It was very fun. Walter Goggins is a great character. And so if they can do for Mass Effect, which I really enjoyed, if they can do that for that, like they did with Fallout, man, I'm all in. Like I'm all in. And then speaking of Fallout, here's kind of the last story that I really kind of had to share with y'all. And thanks for hanging with me and obviously listen to me rant and rave a little bit here and there. And on a Saturday night, um, very much so, is that Macaulay Culkin has joined the Fallout show in season 2, evidently, which I am very curious to see. Now, if some of you follow the YouTube channel Red Letter Media, which I would also highly recommend, Red Letter Media does some great stuff, funny shit. They've gotten to be friends with Macaulay Culkin. He's done some stuff with them, videos with them and stuff, reviews of shows and stuff, and pretty funny shit. Um, Evidently, he's joined the cast for season 2 of Fallout. What I do hate about it is that it's going to be like probably 2026, I'd say, before it comes out, which is a bummer. But the Fallout show was a lot of fun, and I really liked it, and I'm curious to see what he'll play and what he'll do. I thought it was a great cast, and yes, 3-star draw. Hit the like button, definitely, y'all. Hit the like button if you so choose. It is always appreciated, and so yeah, man, Macaulay Culkin, I think it's great. He's supposed to be playing a crazy genius type character. Well, there are a few in Fallout that I have known throughout the games. Now, this is not using people from the games, but there are a few I can think of. And so if any of them are based off of or have any, somewhat, based off of some of those characters, and I'm all about it. I really did enjoy the Fallout show. Um and would recommend anybody watch it. It is violent, but I do think you'd really like it. And it's funny as shit too, actually. Really funny. So Macaulay Culkin, every now and then he comes out of nowhere and gets involved in stuff, right? I mean, golly, what kind of life must that be a child star, when you're 10 years old or whatever? And then basically hardly do shit for the rest of your life, at least in the public eye. He's done a lot of stuff behind the scenes for sure. But like, man, oh man, like what a wild ride, right? Bobby Wold says, I never played the game, but I really enjoyed the series. Yeah, Walter Goggins, great actor. Um, and I love him in that Fat Man movie. What the hell was that? What was that he was in? Was that not the Brendan Fraser, right? Because that was Brendan Fraser. That took all place in his apartment. Like it's basically the only setting for that show, practically. Or that movie. Uh, what the hell was that, Bobby? Anyway, so yeah, man. I look, didn't have a whole lot. I did want to go over the election results and kind of go through some of that with y'all and get some of y'all's thoughts or whatever. Look, Mel Gibson is Santa. Yes. Oh crap. Now you're gonna make me look it up. Um, but yeah, man, like look, the next 4 years, bottom line, we got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And I think if anybody has short-term memory loss and you forgot what it was like between 2016 and 2020 in the economy, um, and I say the economy because that's such a big proponent of it. When people feel like they're making money, they feel their value, they feel like they're able to spend money and go do things, uh, buy groceries, buy goods, that goes a long way. And a lot of times it's unspoken, but it goes a really, really, really long way. And so yeah, I think it's extremely important. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. All right. Um, but anyway, so yeah, lots of work to do, my friends. look, hopefully Trump will stick to landing, so to speak. Got another 4 years. I like the 4 years he was in office better than the last 4 years. That's all I can say. So, you know, we will see. But I'm thrilled, not gonna lie. We'll see what happens. I will be back on Tuesday with Matthew Matson again on the Evening Blend. We'll do a wrap up on the Penguin final episode Sunday night. We're going to do a season wrap up on that, and there will be some spoilers. So if you've been watching the Penguin, comes out Sunday night. You guys got Sunday night to watch it. You got a couple days to check through it. And then we're gonna go over it Tuesday night. So tune in for that. Obviously, that'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. I'm gonna get out of here. My son is here. I'm sure he desperately wants to get on the VR and fire up the PC. But I appreciate y'all hanging with me on another, a Saturday night out of the blue. But thanks again for hanging with me on Unfiltered. I will catch you guys. Hit the like button. Wednesday, also this upcoming, I will be on Sevens Wild with 3-Star Draw. And we got to get that show together. So we'll be on that too. That'll be at 9 Eastern Wednesday. So Tuesday night, Wednesday night, coming up. Y'all have a good night. Love you. Thanks for hanging with me, man. I really appreciate it, y'all. And I will see y'all soon. I'm Pop Blender. Until next time, stay frosty.